So, what you all have just witnessed me prepare, sort of, is a picture of Mauby. Before I explain what Mauby is and all of its benefits, I would like to let you all know that I did bring cups. So if you guys would like to try what Mauby tastes like firsthand, then you can after I conclude my speech. So, Mauby was a drink that I always drank as a kid whenever I went to my grandparents' house. Although I myself was born here in New York, my grandparents were born in Barbados. Now Barbados, for those of you who don't know, is a tiny island, it's about a mile wide, in the Caribbean and Atlantic Ocean, the Caribbean Sea and the Atlantic Ocean. And if you still don't know what that is, Rihanna's from there, which basically makes us cousins. Now, when I was younger, I had no idea that there were benefits to drinking Mauby, aside from the fact that I thought it tasted good. However, there are several health benefits to drinking Mauby. In order to receive those benefits, one must first understand where Mauby is from, how to make it properly, and ultimately, those benefits will be revealed to you. So what is Mauby? Mauby's two things. It is both a bark, and that's what this is. Mauby is both a bark and a drink, and that's the picture you guys just saw. According to a blog I read on face2faceafrica.com, Mauby was originally made from sweet potatoes. Mauby bark was a better substitute thanks to its availability. Now, Mauby dates back to the 16 to 1700s during the enslavement years. It was both discovered, created, and consumed by African slaves. The drink originally served as a bitter syrup served to make people stronger. The drink was served with ice to cool down body temperatures and to stop a fever from developing. That was also from face2faceafrica.com. So, I know I mentioned earlier that Mauby was two things, and we went over the drinking aspect. But what about the bark? Specifically, the tree that Mauby is made from is called the Bahuco Indio tree. This specific tree is found mainly on islands like Trinidad and Tobago, Barbados, the Dominican Republic, Haiti, and Puerto Rico, although it is also found in certain parts of Florida. As a kid, growing up in a Bayesian household, I always felt that whatever was made in the house had to have originated in Barbados. As I got older, I realized that is not the case. According to my research on wisegeek.com and barbados.org, there isn't really one specific island Mauby comes from. It is only stated that Mauby was created and distributed by Caribbean people, specifically the African slaves in their
ancestors.
Not their ancestors, and their kin. So we've gone over Mauby as a drink and Mauby as a bark, but how do we make it? You guys probably saw me earlier. Some of you saw me making the Mauby with the syrup and water bottles. That's not typically how you make it. That's the quick way, because I don't have a stove here to make it. It's fairly simple. You're going to boil 1 to 2 ounces of bark and about 3 cups of water. Again, that's what this is. You are then going to strain about 8 ounces of this liquid. It's called bitters. The reason we call it bitters is because it's bitter. It's really bitter. I don't recommend you drink it right after you boil it. That's not the end of it. Then you're going to add about half a gallon of water, and you're going to add mixed essence. I know that's not typically found. I know that's not typically found here in the U.S., but you can go to any Caribbean or African grocery store and you'll find this, as well as the bark. And then you're going to add sugar, of course, to taste, and make sure you serve it cold. If you don't serve it cold, it's going to suck because it tastes gross. If you guys have ever had warm root beer, you'll understand what I'm talking about. Now that we've gone over where Mauby is from and how to make it, I have some bad news for you guys. Unfortunately, us college students have 2 common health issues across the U.S. The first of those is blood pressure. According to ncbi.nlm.nih.gov, 56 of 416, that's 13.4%, of college students in the U.S. with recorded blood pressure values have elevated blood pressure readings within the ranges of mild to severe elevations. The reason for that is because we're tired, we're stressed, we're students. We've got things to do, like writing speeches. We've got homes and cars and jobs and whatever. So, and that causes stress. Stress is what causes blood pressures to rocket. As stated by face-to-faceafrica.com, in 2009, reports claimed the drink could cure high blood pressure when coupled with coconut water. Yeah. Also, as reported by the West Indian Medicine Journal, the study found that both the coconut water and Mauby brought about significant decreases in blood pressure in a large proportion of subjects. Surprisingly, some very large decreases in blood pressure were observed when the coconut water was mixed with Mauby. The second most common health issue that college students face, specifically between the ages of 16 and 20, is cholesterol. According to CDC.gov, nearly 29 million adult Americans have total cholesterol levels higher than 240. That's bad. That's really bad. The average American adult should only have LDL levels, LDL is is bad cholesterol, under 200. Anything above that, specifically between the numbers 201 and 240, it's not dangerous, it's not fatal, but it is reason to have concern. And the reason we have such high elevated LDL levels is because in America there are larger proportions. And not only are there larger proportions, there's a lot more saturated fat in that food. However, cholesterol has also been, Mauby has also been known to bring down cholesterol. So we've addressed the bad stuff that Mauby can help improve, but there's one more benefit I'd like to address. Mauby can also serve as an aphrodisiac. So for those who don't know, an aphrodisiac is a food, a drink, or a medication that stimulates sexual desire. According to uncommoncaribbean.com, it's a powerful aphrodisiac and a provider of a strong back for men. Unfortunately, there haven't been any official studies to prove this theory, although certain health enthusiasts seem to agree. So ladies and gentlemen, before I wrap up, I would like to stress something to you. We did not just go over the benefits drinking Mauby has. We did not just discuss for 6 minutes tree bark and water that taste like root beer. Mauby is so much more than that. Mauby is a representative of culture. It is a tradition that brings together nations. I'm sure we've all walked or driven past a Caribbean or an African grocery store and not given it a second thought. I encourage you all to go in. Learn and experience what my people have been experiencing for the last few centuries. Thank you.